In one of my 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons games, we lost one of our characters when he fell into a hole. Well, Zod's dead.
Guys?
After that loss, the Tiefling Warlock decided to switch to a Swordmage. So the GM had to think of a clever way to get him into the story that wouldn't disrupt the narrative, or be too weird. This is what he came up with. Okay, so the group is traveling, and you're walking, and everything is fine, and then shabwam! The ground ruptures, and you're falling, and falling, and falling, and falling, like a really far way, and then you're on the ground because you fell. But the Tiefling, the poor Tiefling, he hit the ground really hard. Oh my god, Aeon, are you alright?
I'm fine, I guess.
Where'd that magic sword come from?
Wow, I must have hit the ground so hard I turned into a sword mage.
Oh, did he now? Yeah, he must have hit the ground really hard. Like, really, really hard. Like, so hard, in fact, that he learned a completely new spell set and got training in swordsmanship. Okay, look, you guys, it's the middle of the campaign. We're on a tight schedule. I'm trying here. Let's just move on. Where we fell into turned out to be a massive underground dungeon riddled with these weird psychedelic portals that were letting out these freakish inhuman abominations, and we had to fight our way to get out. We came to this fork in the caverns. One went up toward the light, and the other wound down into the darkness. However, what we saw down there was a glint of gold, diamonds, rubies, sapphires. It seemed to be like a treasure hoard. Of course, we immediately start backing away, going, no. You gotta understand, we had been seeing freaky mirages all the way up here. No one just casually leaves a treasure hoard just lying around. So we went the other way. As we were going up, we entered into a cavernous room. There was an entrance on one side and an exit on the other. Yep, an empty, featureless room with nothing in it. It was just really, really big. So we started walking through it. Yep, just through it to the other side. Haha, it was secretly a trap! You fell for it. Above was a black dragon which flew down and issued a shroud of gloom which created a sphere of darkness that blinded everyone. And so we started fighting with the beast. And what followed was one of the most miserable fights I've ever been in. Because we were blind, a lot of our attacks missed. And the dragon had a special ability that whenever someone missed with an attack, it got to turn around and do a tail attack on them. I know this is going to sound weird, but we got more done not attacking it. Why? We missed 90% of our attacks since we're blind. This meant that 90% of the time, the dragon was just getting additional hits on us. The wizard and I realized this and left the darkness, but the Tiefling was determined. So the wizard and I were outside while the sword mage was inside fighting one-on-one with the dragon. He was not doing well. I was out of the fight. No weapon. Other than my mace. Aha! Eat cold steel, you scaly cretin!
Tink!
Okay, now I don't have a weapon. So I did the only thing I could think of. I started punching a wall. In 4th edition D&D, clerics had an ability that let them make an attack and cast resistance on someone. So I had to make an attack. It was mandatory, but I didn't want to attack the dragon. So I started punching the wall. Every round on my turn. Over and over and over again. For the 2 hours it took to fight this dragon. In the end, we emerged victorious, working together as a team. The wizard with her spells that were actually worth a damn. Me with my wall punching capabilities. And the Tiefling with his ability to get mauled, and I think he got one hit in. Suddenly, bursting forth from the wall was our good old pal Zod, who we thought was dead. Zod!
3 days! 3 days I was stuck in that hole with rats biting me, screaming for you guys to pull me out.
But we thought you died.
But we thought you died! 10 feet! The hole was 10 feet deep. All you guys had to do was look down, see I was in there, and pull me out. But no!
So, the group left the cave and made it back to town. A few weeks later, my character's lying in bed, sleeping. We suddenly realized, you know, when we were back there, we'd seen that treasure hoard. That probably wasn't a mirage. We probably should have grabbed some treasure, shouldn't we? Yep. Probably should have done that. Yep. 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 Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.